Babies are born not hating nobody. They learn it from their parents. You have any brothers or sisters?
I had a cousin. He passed.
Any of them got children?
My other cousin has a child.
Okay, I do a test sometime when I'm talking. I said, those of y'all in here, raise your hand. You got children yet? We'll go back home this week and get the pictures from the time they was 1 to the time they was 8. You don't see no hatred, no meanness, no whores, no pimps. They learned that from you. When they came here, they were pure and clean. They ain't been around nobody but your ass. That's how they become pimps, hoes, and hustlers, listening to you around the fucking house.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks again for having the show. Like since we posted the last interview, the response has been incredible. You know, you definitely the vibrations are going. People are stimulating thought and all that stuff. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to like get caught up for one, and then also
Anytime you want.
To
Anytime.
race is a big issue right now. There's a lot of conversations being had about race and justice and injustice. I mean, you've been on the front lines of this. In the last interview, you talk about, you say you apologize to white folks because they're not the real white folks.
Yeah, they're not. The Ku Klux Klan don't determine public policy. The most powerful businessmen in the world is white Christian businessmen in America. They don't wear crosses. You can't find a poor person that got a cross on. There wear no crosses. You know? But how can you call yourself a Christian with a gun and the Bible in the same house? I mean, think about that. The most powerful human being on this planet is my mother, father, God. Huh? And every ant on this planet, there's an accountability to that one. Every frog, every grain of sand, every leaf on a tree. Huh? So what can you want for it? Unless somebody shortcutted it.
Well, I think one of the things, when people respond to your interview, it's like, you know, bulbs are lighting up. You're waking up minds.
Yeah.
You know, you're making people aware of things in a way that they may have already agreed with it. Maybe they knew some of it. They didn't know all of it.
Yeah, but see, the people who run this ain't worried about it because it's repeat. You can't get it repeat. When you learned your ABCs, it wasn't because you learned it once a month. It's every day, ABC. And a Muslim cousin of mine, I said, Merry Christmas. I don't even know why the Christmas holiday. I said, anytime Christmas in this country come on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your bank closed, you participate.
Right. So
when you can't mail a letter, you participate.
So that's the structure.
Yeah.
And it's white supremacy or patriarchy?
No,
how would you
it's
label
white supremacy.
Okay.
White supremacy. That's who it is.
Okay.
Supreme. And if I'm not supreme to you, I'll make you think I am. That's how it works. When the World War II ended in Japan and you saw them soldiers putting up the America, that's bullshit, man. AP got there late, so they just went and picked out some soldiers and put there. 2 of them was Indians. All of them went crazy because the lie was too big. All of them was alcoholics. The lie was too big. But you can look at people. When I went downstairs to use the men's room, if I come back and the brother put some red paint on me, you will react to the red paint. You hear me? You react to the red paint. If we went to some darkest part of Africa today, where nobody's ever been, and carried one of them coffee percolators with us, where you have the water down here, and then it goes up, the coffee come back, all we got to do is have the water down here and some red dye, and we can tell them that's blood. We make blood. Okay? See, that's what ignorance is when you have to depend on something else other than what the real God gave you. And then everything changes. Where America is today is when you hear a baby crying, and because of your ignorance and your program, shut up! The baby, the pen is sticking, the baby. Been there for 3 days, and now gangrene done sit in. That's why you know America can't. They react to us, the cops, the same way you act to a child. Shut up! Okay, all right. Huh? But you know something's wrong with the police, man. As a child, no boy that had no connections in the family ever wanted a police car for Christmas. It was always a fire truck. That's before I learned anything about good and bad and nasty and evil. Fire truck. When I was a little boy, I used to, when I hear a siren, I'd say a prayer. Now my prayer is different. When I see the police car, I pray that they and the people they're going to deal with will be safe. That's a hell of a way to interrupt the prayer. You have to say that for fire trucks. You know.
So why are we so targeted?
Huh?
Why are we so targeted by the police? People with dark skin.
Because it's real. It's real. That's like asking a Jew why they talk about Germans, or ask a Christian why they still talking about Christ. 2,000 years later, but they don't want me to talk about it. They talk about Jesus Christ, they did that 3,000 years ago. Y'all still talking about it, but it's my turn. It's my turn. But I can't talk about it with hatred. See, if you get mad at me, you know, there's a chemical reaction in your body. That's like letting air out your own tire. Don't bother me. But that's what the whole, and then the misinformation. The misinformation.
Such as, well, let's go into some of these Black Lives Matter issues.
Well, Black Lives Matter, one, is the Koch brothers is paying for that, so you have to go into that knowing that's bullshit.
Okay.
That's why it's in Time magazine in 1 month, 3 times cover. See, the thing is this. Jews had a legitimate gripe in Germany when they say Jewish lives matter. You know, you come up with some bullshit. Well, so do the Irish, so do the other men. It's the Jews who's being killed. Now, you wasn't talking about, nobody said talking about other lives before we said Black Lives Matter. And it must not matter to somebody because it keeps happening over and over and over. And then white folks realize that one day they better start saying white lives matter. Because when they just busted a major German car manufacturer that tricked the exhaust, and out of that 128 people died, and all they had to do was pay a fine. Nobody had to plead guilty. That's what this is about. When they reduced me down to teaching my black sons that when you see this evil, nigger-hating cop, behave yourself. Anytime you teach a child with your genes that came out your wife's belly to behave for filth, the child believes something wrong with them. I can't believe that you telling me, this is what goes on inside my head. You telling me you know this is a murderer? Let me tell you how it works. There's a whole lot of doctors that get busted for malpractice. You don't hear nobody say all doctors aren't bad. Hey, wait a minute. Whoa. Huh? Whole lots of lawyers lose their life. All, how come we say, why you got to say all cops are not bad? Because you know they are. You see them. You're in the station with them. You see them. And to be a white cop in America, unless you fall in a family tradition, there's something wrong with that. There's too many opportunities for white boys in America to want to be a cop. You didn't like me before you got the gun. Why do you think you don't turn on TV or have white folks on this show that talk about these black cops that shot their brother in the head 44 times? With the thousands of black cops in America, you think cops is better trained or more spiritual? No, then the white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And so when we get to the point, we're not gonna tolerate it. What does that mean? Get a gun? No, you ain't get no gun. All you gotta do is call for a boycott from Thanksgiving to Christmas. 79% of all retail happened during that. Just to threaten them, they stop. You said, well, we want Confederate flags. There's 12 states in America got Confederate flags somewhere in their flags. All you got to do, they said, if that's not removed by this weekend, we're calling for black folks and decent white folks not to send none of your athletes to these southern states. That's not why. Because the South don't have no trillion-dollar sports industry except colleges. Okay?
So we're not using our economic power.
You don't know you ain't got no economic power. What economic powers you got, huh? That's bullshit, man. You ain't got no economic powers, huh? Name them. Name the only building of a black company, headquarters is downtown, is Johnny Johnson's, Ebony and Jet. No, in the whole country. There's no other. And he had to get a whiteboard to fake. And now he lost it. He don't own it no more.
Right. Yeah, they had to sell that. They had to sell the photo archives.
Huh?
They had to sell the photo archives as well.
They sold everything, man.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can't have nothing in this country. They don't want you to have it. Huh?
Yeah. Well, is that part of the game? Like we can have money, but we can't have wealth as black people?
No, that's tricky language, man. My grandma don't know what you just said. You ain't never had no money. Huh? Let me tell you something, man. If you was a congressperson, all Congress districts get a piece of the defense budget. Every one of them. Now, the top 20 defense budget districts is $19 billion or more. The first 11 is Democratic districts, not Republican. The first two, hear me, 1 or 2 and number 3 is in black districts. Huh? Okay. Number 1, St. Louis, congressman. Why? McDonnell Douglas. Number 3, the ex-Black Panthers is in Congress from Chicago. What's that? Boeing aircraft. So if you don't know the language, you can't figure it out. And that's what it's about. White ain't a color, it's an attitude. And we don't know nothing about no damn money. Huh? And what money you got, they can take it from you in the morning. Outside of Washington, D.C., there's a huge place they build in that gambling casino. National Harbor. A black man owned all of that. Not just the harbor, that's just 1/10 of the land that he owned. White boy show up one day and say, Mill, we need to talk to you. We got the documents, we're gonna buy your land. Him, don't worry about him, that's narcotics. That's the drugs while you was in the room winking at that waitress. He was putting drugs in your car. So we're fixing to bust you. It's that simple. Michael Jackson, huh? A child. His mind was a child. Became one of the most powerful human beings in the world, and they killed him.
See, we were beating the man. And so I call it rioting in the movie theater because this was rioting without destroying anything.